everyone. I'm Jethro Toro, host of the Bitcoin Country podcast, and I'm here for a collaboration with my friends at the ClubCocal team. They are, of course, very well known among the Bitcoin and El Salvador scene at this point for their location in Playa El Cocal, right next to San Blas, the nearest beach to San Salvador, halfway between there and El Zonte. They are now hosting the Bitcoin farmers markets there, great place, but they also do real estate and have a property here, Shutia, about 10 minutes west of El Zonte. And I'm interested in this because I'm really interested in the potential of El Salvador. This soil, this untapped, beautiful soil with this potential for growing so many beautiful fruits and vegetables and raising cattle and all sorts of exciting things. And one of my favorite people talking about these topics is, of course, my friend Will here. So Will, could you tell us a little bit about this property?
Well, thank you, sir. Yeah, look around you guys. This is pure abundance in action. Proof of work, proof of abundance. We just entered the very beginning of the property line here. It's about 23-acre parcel of land. We've just entered the mango forest where we have, I think it's 33 mango trees, and these are big mamas. Two different varietals. We've got the baseball, circular round mango, and then we'll have the longer ones as well. We're going to cruise our way up through the project, show you guys some different areas of the community. But yeah, the abundance here is incredible. And you can see behind me all these little plants, these little baby plants are all mango plants. When you're here, that could of course be harvested and sold at a nursery. When you're here April through June, the ground is orange, covered with mangoes. So it's a lot of fun. We're stoked to take you guys on a little adventure, and we're going to have a couple spots we'll stop along the way.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And we are recording right now in January, right after the Max and Stacy Golf Invitational, right after the ClubCocal after party the day after that, with the spectacular events with so many people from around the world. And so it'll be about 3 months when everything's in bloom. But I'm excited about the potential of this property and places like it. A lot of people are working on permaculture projects here in El Salvador. You know, the bloom is coming, shall we say. So let's dive in. So we just walked about a minute into the property, and next up we are going to cover the Tamarind forest, talk about some permaculture, and the ridge line up there, these amazing views, a pyramid view even potentially. Sounds mysterious and intriguing. But first, Will, could you tell us about this amazing tree behind us and about the properties that'll be emerging around us amidst this forest?
Brother, this tree has seen some years. The root system, you actually have vines hanging down, connecting back into the root system. It's powerful. There's power in that tree. Yeah, this is currently a dry creek bed, but at the very top of it is a water spring that hopefully the water engineer people are going to be able to tap into and make a year-round babbling brook. Because when you're back here and it's flowing in rainy season, it's so magical. So yeah, we just came in the entrance of the community. We're right about where the roundabout is and the road forks. Right up on this section here, you'll have 4, maybe 5 homes that'll be on that top of that ridge line there that'll have ocean views. They'll have beautiful valley views, and they'll also have this spring oasis in their backyard. And then as the other road goes up this other side, we're going to have a few houses in here sort of in the mango forest. So, you don't really have the amazing views in here, but you have these huge mother mango trees towering over. It's cooler temperatures. You've got great shade. And the ones on that side will have that beautiful water feature in their backyards as well. So imagine laying in the hammock, you've got your favorite tunes. Well, you don't even need the tunes when you've got the sound of the babbling water. It's amazing.
Yeah, very peaceful, very tranquil.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can already picture it. And I love how you emphasize the water. I think that's really important when people consider permaculture projects in this country. And a lot of people maybe who have only visited El Salvador once or maybe never, but they're interested in learning about the country. They may be skeptical, oh, it's so hot down in Central America. Water sources are very important. So could you tell us a little bit about how the spring, how it fills up during rainy season here as well, and gives birth to all of these plants in this mango forest around us, where you're going to build these beautiful tree cabins?
Yeah, water is life. And, El Salvador's very abundant with water. These rocks, these mountains, these hills are full of it. Even at the beach, we have a well, a freshwater well. So what you can do on these properties and communities with water conservation and you know, considered usage and engineering, whether it's a cattle ranch or a community or an eco-tourism retreat oasis. But you know, imagine you're out here in the summer, it's hot, and you know, you have a spring-fed, cool, you know, pool that you can just plunge in and cool down. And yeah, I think stuff like that, you see some of it already here, like at the Encanto. They had that really, I think that was a natural water pool, and it was quite chilly, you know, so stuff like that.
Yeah, well, it's beautiful potential here. And also, this is one of the reasons I'm glad we're doing this. Even in the dry season, you can picture the possibility here. Yeah. You can already see the mangoes starting to come out, and they grow actually through the dry season. But also, I love doing the before, during, and after, because so many people are building here. So before we move on to cover the tamarind forest, go a little deeper on the permaculture side of things, cover the ridge with the beautiful views. Could you tell us a little bit about the plans for these, you know, mango forest cabins among us? And actually, before I even say that, just living in El Salvador, you know, so many friends you meet who are building projects out in different parts of the country. And it's so exciting. Like, I've seen some of these projects come to life with the before, where it's just jungle. So could Dylan, actually, maybe if you could even pan and cover some of the jungle, or if we cut in some, so back amongst these trees, there will be cabins.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so, under the canopy of the trees, you'll have treehouse-like vibes, you know. So your backyard will have a water babbling brook, Lord willing, and at least during the rain, and these amazing mango trees with delicious fruits for you to pick up and eat right off the ground. The community is going to have a sort of a Mayan architectural theme. So a lot of woods, a lot of natural materials. The architecture and engineering is going to be centered around sacred geometry. And we have soil scientists on the team. The community is going to be an agrihood, which is an agriculturally productive neighborhood, where the green spaces, the communal spaces of the neighborhood are all designed in such a way to max production of fruits, vegetables, goat cheeses, all kinds of edible things.
Yep, and you're working with we'll talk about the permaculture and the soil science aspect when we get up to the tamarind forest. Yep. But just on the architecture, you're working with a great team. Shout out Claudia. Yep. Anything more you want to add about plans for when this is all going to get going in the different lots?
Yeah, we're in the permitting process right now and making progress. So yes, I think in the coming 6 to 12 months, you're going to see a lot of change happening in real time right here.
Yep, it's an exciting time for builders in El Salvador.
Yes, sir.
So on to the tamarind forest.
Let's do it.
Back at the tamarind forest now, and we entered Shutia down through the mango forest. And this property has over 100 fruit trees, a lot of potential for permaculture here. And it was about 34 different mango trees down at the entrance. Now we are deeper in the property up here at the tamarind forest, right here, with about 20 tamarind trees. So Will, could you tell us about the potential for tamarinds and permaculture in this section of the property?
Yes, brother. And first of all, if you have not tried a tamarind yet, it blew my mind. Like fresh out of the pod, here's one of the old seed pods, and you crack the seed open, and it has this, you know, gooey purple gelatinous, almost like gummy candy. Oh, and it's like sweet and sour. It's like one of the best gummy candies you've ever had. Totally organic, right from these really beautiful trees. There's the tamarind leaves are very similar to like a fern. These tiny little leaves, and they dance ever so lovely in the wind. And then, of course, you know, you have this beautiful color, the glow that comes through, this sort of golden yellowish light that glows through into this forest. And we have unique tamarinds here at Shutia because we got to find out what this species of vine is. We've got vines all through the tamarind forest that are just gives a whole cool vibe.
Oh yeah, magical ambiance, just outdoor, immersed in nature. It's beautiful up here. Yeah. Yes, and so 34 mango trees, about 20 tamarind trees.
Yep.
What are
annona trees? Annonas are really good. The pink annonas are like gold down here. Yeah, when we first got the project, we had our friends, Michael McCluskey and friends, do the LiDAR work, discovered all the fruit trees, 100 plus fruit trees. Of course, we want to preserve every single one of them. The tamarind forest here is a little lower. You don't have the ability really to build in here, but we'll have some communal spaces in here for sure, hiking trails throughout the whole property.
Yeah, and this is a beautiful area for hiking.
Yeah, and the fruit, it's there's so much opportunity with all the abundant fruit, from creating a jam and chutney business, which we want to do in conjunction with the House of Life, and actually provide an equity program for the girls to become equity owners of that potentially multi-million-dollar business someday.
Yep, and we'll get into the House of Life section a little bit later too, because there's more on that front as well.
Onto the permaculture, right? So that then gave us the further idea, and one of our good friends is a soil scientist and PhD.
Shout out Brian.
Brian from New Zealand, and he's spent years in Africa in villages building entire permaculture systems for sustenance and food sovereignty for the individual communities there. So he's going to do that here on our little agri-hood. Yep. And with the water, with the beautiful black rich volcanic soil, the goats that are leashed and used for regenerative purposes and everything. I mean, from fish koi ponds to all of the cool regenerative stuff. And then that's all creating products to bring to market to these organic and produce markets and restaurants.
Yep, so it enhances the food supply as well. Sovereign food, sovereign money, they go hand in hand here in Bitcoin country. And hearing you talk about this and meeting Brian during Bitcoin month, and just like hearing you talk about the potential here though, and just a beautiful area for a nice morning hike as well, is why I was so happy to do this type of content. Speaking of which, if you're listening and enjoying this type of content, leave a reply or a comment. Let us know. I would be happy to do more boots on the ground content like this, including coming back here when things are in bloom. So let us know timeline now. So in terms of the tamarinds, when do they peak? And then in terms of these projects moving along, or just the community moving along?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the end of dry season, about April, into April, is when all of the fruits really start bearing. The mangoes, tamarinds, the annonas, I think we were eating those in September or something. They're a rainy season, or maybe they produce, and I'm not sure. The project, we're in the permitting process, but we're making progress. We're in the planning, lotification, where the home sites, where the amenities, where the cool hangout areas and hiking trails and the cafe, and where it's all going to be located. So, but once the permitting is all approved, I imagine construction's going to start very quickly from roads and infrastructure, and we'll be able to get some content in here to show proof of work in different stages. And man, eventually in a few years, we'll have a vibrant community here, and that will just be a whole nother opportunity to show, the change.
Yep. I'm very excited to see what blossoms, what emerges from the potential of this land. And so we are gonna move along now up to the ridge for some beautiful views, and to we talked about sovereign food, sovereign money, potential for sovereign energy as well.
Wow.
Yeah, alongside some beautiful views.
Let's do it.
Let's get to it. So we are working our way up to the ridge line here, the top of Shutia. And we've got a great group here as well with the ClubCocal team. We got Will, Dylan behind the camera here. We got our friend Jeff. We got Paul with the ClubCocal team. And we got my friend Jake from Berlin. And we're definitely gonna include him on the next segment. But first, we have a little fun pit stop on the way here. We've got something exciting. Will, can you tell us what is this? What is going on right here?
This is the last mango, el último mango. It's the highest mango tree on the property. Way past the mango forest was way down the hill, then the tamarind forest. And then you just have this one big mango right here. And it's a place that the locals like to hang out and get the shade. So I'm thinking this will be like a little community park, like swings and the kids running around eating the mangoes. And so, yeah.
Yep, beautiful vision and perfect pit stop on the way up to the ridge line in this hike.
Yeah.
Nice little break for some shade.
Yeah.
And also, we actually just passed in our hike, just panning over here real quick. There is a beautiful view on this little ridge on the way to the big ridge.
Yeah, something a little interesting over here around the corner that, I'm no expert, but I have spoken on the subject with experts. And in all likelihood, it is what we think it is.
And what do we think it is, Will?
Well, it looks oddly, perfectly, just like a Mayan pyramid. covered in years of forestation and, you know, degradation from the natural environments. But this thing is way too perfectly sloped and lined out. And it appears on this lower right section that there may even be, I don't know, there's a dark, it looks like maybe a cave.
It does look like that, yeah.
Entrance.
And I'm no expert, but could you tell people a little bit about the Mayan history here in El Salvador, why this is plausible?
This was the southernmost point of the Mayan civilization. And they were very active here, and there's been zero archaeological work done in the country because of the wars, 30 years of wars and violence. So now the doors are open and the archaeologists are here. Oh boy, they're having the time of their lives because of stuff like that.
Yep, it's like, just like the permaculture, all these fruits and vegetables emerging from the ground. We've also got all these hidden Mayan artifacts just emerging from the ground throughout the country. After the 40 years of dark times with the Civil War and then the gang tyranny, It was impossible to explore. I know personally, up in the quick tangent, up in the La Laguna circular economy, the new project started by Gerardo and Evelyn, the co-founders of the Bitcoin Berlin circular economy. When I was up there, some of the locals there, I held in my hand an ancient Mayan vase, like a piece from one. It's like these artifacts are scattered throughout the country. It is entirely plausible that right up there is a Mayan pyramid.
Oh, Tamarind, the waterfalls town right above Tunco. In the town square, there's a stone figurine carving that came from the hills. And I've hiked those hills and seen Mayan pillars and other things. So it's just, it's incredible.
Yep, one of the many magical things about this country.
Yeah.
So much potential hidden beneath the surface.
Indeed.
So we're gonna get up to the ridgeline now and show you guys some amazing views.
See you there.
So we made it up here to the ridgeline here at the top of the Shutia property. Up here, we've got the amazing ridgeline, and that's actually part of it too. But behind us, you can see this beautiful view opening up into the Pacific Ocean right there, just a few minutes west of El Zonte, Bitcoin Beach, the circular economy that inspired the entire world. So great area, a lot of permaculture potential that we covered down there in the mango forest and then the tamarind forest right beneath us. But Will, could you tell us a little bit about the plans for what you're gonna do up here?
Yeah, buddy. So this ridgeline area will be cleared out. There's really no trees up here, very few. And it's going to have, we'll of course, put in our own trees. But the roads line's going to come right up this ridge line, and you'll have home sites on the south facing side here with ocean views, and you'll have home sites on the north facing side here with gorgeous mountain and valley views. You've got the pyramid right there that we saw earlier behind us. Yeah, we're going to have hiking trails throughout the whole property, and Lord willing, even up to the top of that huge bluff, if we can. So yeah, this will be a part. I think that hiking trail is going to probably meander around the whole outside, rim of the property, and then you'll have some hikes that'll meander through as well. So
beautiful.
Yeah, these are the views though. These are the home sites with the views.
Love it. Yeah, and walking through this property is a great little hike. Probably through the whole property would be what, 30 minutes an hour maybe if you're getting all the way up there?
Yeah.
So good little day experience.
Chill, easy little hike, and it changes. You've got the different forests and the different vibes, and yeah.
Yep, and the shady spots to stop along the way mixed in with beautiful views like this.
Gorgeous views.
Yep. And we're also going to talk about some potential for solar up here, because not only do you have the potential for these fruits and all these things emerging from the ground, you also have the potential to harvest this energy from the sun to power projects here and mine Bitcoin at the same time. So we're about to pass it over to my friend Jake. But first, if you want to, Dylan, just take a quick shot of up there, the ridge line. So that is all part of the property as well. And so—
a little bit thick at the moment, but it'll be all cleared out, right?
Yep. And so you may be building some stuff up there as well, but at the very least, a hiking trail going around.
Yep, and some observation towers and whatnot. And you can tell, we just came out of the tree forest. It's much hotter. It's that sun is hitting, so leverage that, harness that energy.
Yep.
Tell us about it.
Yep. So to tell us all about it is our friend Jake. He is the host of Hash Power Academy on YouTube, over 11,000 subscribers. He is an aerospace engineer by training, but turned into a solar energy Bitcoin mining expert. So yeah, Jake.
More leaning on the mining side at the moment, but the focus here in El Salvador is recognizing that El Salvador has this boom, shall we say, on the financial side of Bitcoin. and that relationship that a lot of store of value wealth comes from real estate. But there's also the side of when people want anywhere to live, they like hot water, they like internet, they like power and not having the grid go down. So you can disconnect yourself financially with Bitcoin, but there's also the energy and mining side, and you could combine that with the real estate story, with the Bitcoin story, such as a place like this where we're in like one of the darkest months of the year and it's bright blue sky. So everyday life costs energy, costs money. So getting solar in a project like this, you could do it individually on homes, which would be just enough to make enough power for the people staying there. And all the excess, no one's staying on the property. Your occupancy is low. But if you add Bitcoin mining, it's like you've got a little extra occupancy, because when no one's there, all of the solar power is getting drained into your battery, your wallet. It's the same thing, into your wallet as money from your battery.
Yep. Injecting money directly into the community, especially being right next to Bitcoin Beach. It extends the circular Bitcoin economy this way as well. You got more sats flowing into the area, and it doubles up with some actual useful productive functions as well. We spoke about a few potentially here as well. Could you mention some of those examples?
Well, going through all of the areas where there's excessive amounts of trees creating fruit, all that fruit has a value being unripe, sent off to Europe, so you get your unripe fruit from. And then the ripe stuff is sold locally because it's not got much time left. And then the overripe, it's just a waste. It's on the floor, it gets chucked. So there's usefulness of the computers for Bitcoin mining create a lot of heat, and that heat can be used to dry beef, dry mangoes, bananas, citrus fruit into little cocktail drinks and slices. Mm-hmm. So it's just utilizing waste where we have an excess, such as fruit trees, and turning it into economic value. And so the way I see Bitcoin is it's a recycling system for energy, and it's all, yes, getting priced against 21 million units on the financial side, but how that pricing comes in is not just dollars, but through energy and through the usefulness of that energy. Yep. Is how we get paid.
Thank you very much.
As a miner.
Spoken like a true rocket scientist.
Spoken like a true rocket scientist indeed. And I met Jake up in the Berlin circular economy, and I love how the solar projects up there that you're starting to work on also inject sats into the circular economy. I love here the potential for projects, people want to develop land, do their own permaculture work. And so they can just plug in solar naturally, whether it's drying fruits, beef jerky, heated water. Do you have anything you'd like to comment as well about the overlap between sovereign energy, sovereign food, and sovereign money?
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. Harvesting the energy of the sun, turning that into Bitcoin, turning that into savings, lowering impact. The harmony and integration and synchronicity of it all too, as these communities are birthed and you add in value proposition just explodes, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's a beautiful overlap, and I'm excited to see the potential as more and more projects pop up, more and more people want to do interesting things with the land, help the land reach its full potential here in Bitcoin country, builders. It's great to have so many brilliant minds like Jake with solar, like Brian with soil science, solar and soil science. Yep. And then people like yourself just tying it all together. So this has been a lot of fun, a very fun hike. And this is Shutia. I'm excited to see how it all unfolds and look forward to coming back maybe a few months, year, as things progress. We'll be getting more updated content, but I really like getting the before content. Because again, I've seen other projects, other properties where it's just jungle, lots of overgrowth. They start clearing it up and you start seeing these things emerge, and it's just so, so beautiful.
Comes to life.
Yep, it's all happening here in Bitcoin country. So thank you very much for listening. Remember to subscribe to the ClubCocal channel on YouTube, follow them on X. I'm your host for this fun little mini episode of Boots on the Ground content, Jethro Toro on X, Jake Scanlan on X, SCANLAN. And thank you so much for listening.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining.